Welcome back everyone, my name's Eltimar and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Divinity Original Sin 2. Where we left off last time, we were about to go into the final battle area of the game. I don't know if I'm going to finish this whole thing in one video or two, but we'll see how fast we can get things done.
Heavy upon the air itself, unspoken. This is the point of no return. Somewhere beyond this point, you shall be undone, or you shall ascend. There is no middle ground.
I might miss things out in the third act, so I'm gonna save and just call this, like, possible ending. There we go.
The truth.
I'm ready for this. Let's do it. We're going in. Sir Laura wants to talk to us.
The squirrel looks up at you and pats your leg reassuringly.
Oh, right, we got rid of Pet Pal.
Gives you a nervous thumbs up before turning and galloping away on his cat.
Okay. I kind of want to see the end of the Sir Laura story, because I don't think I ever have, actually. So now we must go back to this quick load. Send Losa, I guess? To switch out one talent. I totally forgot that we needed a Pet Pal for Sir Laura. Alright, really quickly doing this, and then we'll head back. We can just pyramid down there, I'm 99% sure. What am I going to get rid of for talents, though? I don't even know. Get rid of that one, I guess. And I will grab that bell. Alright, now we'll head back. Oh, right.
Destination pyramid doesn't.
Alright, now we're gonna go down. Silly.
The truth.
What's that, Quercus? You have something?
My goodness. Here we are, Quercus. This is it.
What do you mean, Quercus? Of course I'm prepared. I have my noble steed below me, and my trusted shield beside me. What more could I need?
His whiskers crack into a mischievous smile.
And I may have cracked the spell that will stop the great acorn in its furious tracks, if that's what you mean. That's right, Quercus. We've done it!
Sir Laura turns to you, his beady eyes shining with pride.
I owe you an apology, Shield. At the start of our journey, I wouldn't have believed a human would lead me to the discovery that would save us all. But I see now that my prejudice was foolish. Without you, Quercus and I might still be stuck on that abominable prison island. Now, here I am. Here we are, on the brink of saving the world.
I tell him I'm impressed that he cracked the spell, but shouldn't he use it now?
Indeed. Quercus and I will find an advantageous location and do just that. Meanwhile, you must prevent the servants of the Acorn from interrupting us.
Sir Laura takes a slow, deep breath and lets it out in a rush.
You feel it, don't you? It's so still. But there's something behind it, too, like a thunderclap waiting to fall.
The great acorn is nearly here. Its servants are poised for impact. We've known this moment would come. Now it is time to put my research to the test.
Yes, it is.
I am ready. Quercus is ready. And you, Shield?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
What say you, Quercus? That's good enough for you? Then it's good enough for me, too.
Sir Laura grabs your pinky with his tiny paw. He gives it a decisive shake, then salutes.
No matter what happens next, Shield, there's something Quercus and I want you to know. It has been an honor. Now, onward!
Okay, I'm just gonna pause for 1 second here. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Let us continue in. It's time.
Come here often. I don't know what you did, but you just released a source blood. I thought I'd come and see what all the fuss was about. Should have known you were getting yourself into trouble. Looks like the big moment has finally arrived. I will do everything I can to support you, Godwoken. I will pray for you. I think you'll need it.
I respond with gratitude. The prayer will inspire and strengthen us.
Don't underestimate the power of true prayer. This is a place of incredible power where a single prayer holds the weight of thousands. Your heart and soul will fill as quickly as they're drained. Consider it a taste of your divine future. The people will pray for you. In turn, they'll trust you to do right by them, as I'm trusting you to do now. Of course, it's up to you whether or not to listen. I know how I'd respond, but you do you.
Melody wearily chuckles to herself, then bows her head in a show of unexpected but sincere reverence.
Looks like my investment's paid off after all.
You've shown me kindness in the face of my sins. My worship is the least I can offer.
I've always preferred to be the one reaping the attention, but you've turned the tables. I suppose it's only right, seeing as how a new divinity may stand before me.
Now go. Rivellon needs a new divine.
Alright, so we are revered, which is a really neat ability, and it means that we have to redo some of our skills, because it means that we can use source skills for free. We don't need source points for them, so they actually just become straight up skills that we can use. They do require extra memory slots to use, though. That's the problem with the source skills, is that they require a lot of, you know, work to use sometimes, because we have to get rid of some of these things. What can we feasibly get rid of? We can get rid of Bone Widow. We can probably get rid of Chicken Punch. Honestly, at this point, we'll keep Chameleon Cloak because we might need to go invisible to not die. Probably. We won't need Bless, I don't think. And I'm not going to need... I need one more skill off. Probably Bone Cage. Alright, let's pick 2 new skills. Apotheosis is actually worthless for us. It does reduce the cost of all source skills by 3, but since we already have that, not super important. Summon Inner Demon is actually pretty great. It gives you a bunch of magic armor, and you can use it to drain magic armor and terrify other people. Pretty fancy. And I also want Skin Graft, I think. No. Well, Skin Graft is good. I think Onslaught's better. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with. Bane has to do something similar, so we're going to get rid of... Actually, you know what? We can get rid of... No, I'll keep Wings just in case. I'll get rid of... Chicken Punch, Rain. One more skill. Crippling Strike. Actually, no, we'll keep Crippling Strike. And we will... get Overpower instead of... Oh no, it's fine, just Overpower. Alright. I think that's gonna have to do. I'm not sure if we're gonna do the surrender version of the fight or the actual version of the fight. I think we're gonna go with the surrender version of the fight, though. I actually prefer that ending. So here we go.
Losa, Godwoken, Dallas told me about you. You must be as hard as diamonds, and twice as bright, to have come so far. Your divine welcomes you.
The divine you thought dead lords over the chamber from a granite throne. He moves to speak, but it's Riedeman's voice that next pierces the air.
What a twist.
Lucian frowns at Riedemann, then turns to the silent monk standing near and smiles widely. Reality sets in. The monk is Gareth. No longer seeker, but slave.
Gareth, what did you do, you moron?
Oh, Gareth. He was always so devoted, and so stubborn. In this form, his faith won't falter. The ideal servant.
I underestimated you, Godwoken. You have proven to be a formidable foe. You have my respect.
Respect? Indeed.
Lucian's gaze rests upon you and goes through you. He takes your measure entirely.
Lucian, we should tell the Godwoken the truth.
Yes, I agree. It is time we dropped our masks.
Dallis nods, then reaches for the sides of her head. Where there was one face, suddenly there are four. She takes off the mask of the shapeshifter. A skull is revealed, bejeweled and ancient as the void.
I am eternal.
Aren't they just full of surprises?
I'll remark that this clarifies very little. Explain.
Fear not, Godwoken. Dallis is on the side of all that is good. She is helping me rid Rivellon of the influence of the Source. Listen to her.
I shall tell you the tale as I told it to Lucian. Long ago, the scholar Fane discovered that the veil between the world and the void was made of Source. Our 7 lords desired this power.
Of course.
Silence, slave. Our king forbade the 7 to reach for this power, but they didn't listen. Instead, they rebelled and sent the king and his people into the void.
With the Source they stole from the Veil. The 7 created the races so they would have worshippers.
Why would they have needed worshippers?
During their lives, worshippers collect Source. When they die, the gods feed from them. It's an ingenious system.
Our souls are nothing but vats for the Source-hungry gods.
The 7 made a mistake. By taking its source, they tore a hole in the veil, and it is through this hole that the void finds its way into our world.
The 7's lust for power let in the void. Our goal is to close the hole they created, to restore the Source to the veil. When we are done, there shall be no more Source in the world. Rivellon will be finally free from the gods that enslaved them.
I express my confusion. Wouldn't closing the hole doom Callus's king and people to the endless void?
My people cannot be allowed to return from the void. They are tarnished. They are void-woken. They can only bring chaos and death and...
There is more, but she hesitates to share it. Then she decides that she must.
I was a child when the God King tore my family apart. I was purged of Source and left to rot in a putrid tomb. A child. It was hell. A hell I suffered for the sins of my father. He was the one that betrayed the God King. He was the one that told the 7 the secrets of the Veil. The cruel joke of it all is that the same tomb that housed my tortured body is what sheltered me from the void. Few Eternals escaped that fate. Myself, my mother, and Fane. Yes, Fane is my father.
What? No. It can't be. Everything Dallis did. It was all you. Child.
Everything I did to fix your mistake. Our people. Every purged sorcerer. Every dead magister. All those weeping families. They're on your head, father. But now I have revenge. Revenge on the 7 and the God King. Revenge for what they took from me. My life. My people. My mother!
The hammer's voice falters and her coolness vanishes. Every crack and rasp betrays her grief. But her next words burn not with sadness, but anger.
Did you even look for me? Did you even look for her?
Dallis, control yourself. Our purpose transcends your personal wounds.
Yes. You are right.
Dallas's reasons weren't mine to question. All that ever mattered to me was peace. Peace for Rivellon. Peace for me, whatever the means. And now, we are on the precipice.
I need more information. What happened to the real Dallis?
She sacrificed herself for the betterment of Rivellon. She didn't do it willingly, mind you. Curiosity led her to the tomb. My hunger for Source took care of the rest. I presume her bones remained there. And then I took her place. Face rippers are such marvels, aren't they? It didn't take long to realize that Lucian was the key to my vengeance, and I was the key to the salvation of Rivellon.
Lucian wants peace? Ask how their brutal actions were meant to achieve peace.
Alice sought the Eteran. I started draining the gods of their source.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
One more word from you, and I shall use the leash.
I had to hide from the gods. So I had the walls of this crypt equipped with tenebrium and protections put in place. It worked. Everyone, even the gods, thought me dead.
That sounds suspicious. But I don't know enough about tenebrium.
As divine, I was created, empowered to stop the void. I was the avatar of the Seven, their strength and their weakness. My bond to them allowed me to drain them of their source.
I address Riedemann directly. He is the Source King enslaved, and his name is Brachus Rex.
Maggot. I am no slave.
With a flick of her wrist, Dallis sends a jolt through Brachus's body. He writhes in pain.
Don't worry, he's well under control. He has made a fine servant. Isn't that right? Ingrate. I used him to find the Eteran. When we're done, I'll release him from his duty and free him from his pain. Until then...
Dallis punctuates her statement with another wrist flip. Brachus shudders, but his lips remain curled in a self-satisfied grimace.
I suggest that stealing the source of the Seven weakened the gods and allowed the Voidwoken to appear.
Yes, in a sense. When the Death Fog was unleashed, many elves died. With fewer elves to worship him, Teosendilius weakened. This gave the God King his first real foothold back in the world. To strengthen himself, he sent his Voidwoken, the remnants of my people, to hunt down the sorcerers seeking to reclaim their source.
The Voidwoken. Disgusting things. They ravaged the land they touched and infected the air they breathed. They were also an incredible stroke of luck. You see, blaming the sorcerers for Voidwoken made them easier to capture.
The Eteran now contains almost all of the source the Seven stole. Soon, we will be able to heal the Veil.
The void shall be banished, and I, Lucian the Divine, shall return from the dead. A false divine, of course. I shall have no power. But the world will not know this. I shall demand peace, and we shall have it.
The plan is almost complete.
We have made so many sacrifices, Godwoken. All of us. Of ourselves and those we love. One last sacrifice is required. For the future of Rivellon, you must surrender your source.
Decide. Be the true hero and give up your source, or be forced to submit. Like a coward. Like a slave.
There is no other way. The source of the world is required to close the veil. All of the source. We only lack yours.
I glance at Gareth and note that giving up one's source renders one a silent monk, a husk of oneself.
As I say, one last sacrifice is required. Yours.
I note that Lucian's massacre of the masters and students at the academy wasn't really done to aid Alexander.
We already had more than enough Godwoken.
Another sacrifice I was forced to make. Those beautiful people. I was as kind as I could be. I promise you that.
Your plan means there shall be no true divine.
Good. You understand.
The world shall not know this. I shall return from the grave, a divine without power, yet all who desire power shall fear me. I shall carry the secret of my lack of divinity. Peace shall reign.
Enough talk.
Then let us proceed. Show some responsibility, Father! Surrender your source!
Sealing the veil will lock our people away forever. They will never be free of the void. Though if they return, what becomes of this world?
Fane turns to you. In all the time that you've traveled together, you've never seen him like this. He's trembling with emotion.
And you, my fellow adventurers. Together we have seen more than generations of mortals could ever see. You have seen the horrors of the void, and I have seen this world through your eyes. You showed me how beautiful it really was. There is no one else I would trust to make this choice. Whatever you decide, I will follow.
You'll be a hero. Everyone will know the sacrifice you'll make. Your name will be synonymous with the survival of Rivellon.
Don't let them do this to us!
You shall have your sacrifice. I surrender my source for the good of all Rivellon.
Good.
Yes, very good.
She raises what looks like a leash. A chuckle emerges from beneath Vredemon's hood. The chuckle becomes a guffaw, booming and hateful. Dallis flicks her wrist, and nothing happens.
Oh, Dallas. Sweet, simple Dallas.
How? What? The leash is cut!
A bright observation from a bilious imbecile. You know people often become sloppy when they're close to achieving their dream. You left the leashing wand next to me, you stupid maggot. So accustomed had you become to me, pretending to be your slave.
Kill him.
Do shut up, you tedious buffoon, and don't look so surprised. As if I would allow a bone bag to enslave me. Me!
I confront Vredemon, that is, Brachus Rex. He's not Divinity the entire time.
Yes, I am the one true king of the Source. He who shall be God of the Source. It is time for my divinity! Or did you really think I'd play slavishly along with your ridiculous scheme, Dallas? Yes, I played my part of the servile stooge. But know this. It was only about the power of divinity.
Kill him now.
Too late, you mouldering, blight-stained pigs. Grant me power, my ally. God King, I call on you!
I tell Brachus to shut his goddamn mouth.
You dared interrupt Brachus Rex. How novel. Who are you to challenge the Source King?
I am a god woken with a claim on divinity. You are an upstart, a relic, a pebble on the path. I shall put the great Source King back in his box.
Ha! You were the fetid dirt on my boot. You are nothing at all. I am the Source King. I shall rule.
And now the thing happens. Also, I love this song. And then it abruptly ended for a different song. Alright, Brachus.
The God King hears my call. He sends a companion worthy of my power. Come to your father.
Oh no, it's the Kraken again.
Source King.
Isbiel's been summoned. Lord Linder Kim. The Sallow Man. Those are all really bad ones to get. Maybe not so much Isbiel, but the rest of them for sure. Alright, here we go. Let's do this. Apparently he didn't want to bless us. What a jerk. Alright, so... we should probably fight Brachus Rex, but we can't really get to him this turn. So what I'm gonna do is help out with the Salaman a little bit with a couple of my AP. Totems, the Necromancer are 2. Okay, I'm gonna jump up to here, I think. I don't think one even went up there, annoyingly. Now we get to see her true form, although we saw it earlier in the game. Or maybe Eternal is her true form, but whatever. Let's go all the way down there. We're going after Brachus Rex with Lucian the Divine. We're not actually going to give up our swords, though. If it comes down to a fight, we will do the fight. There's still a marksman alive. White Magister markswoman, sorry. Who had erratic wisp and got jumped around a little bit. An elementalist that did nothing. A Geist that's gonna do... Oh, he did something. A lot of damage, actually, to Brachus Rex. And Gareth's over here, purified and annoying. Lucian does a lot of damage. Salaman is pretty fast, though. And he's doing just plagues all the time. That's all he's doing. And he didn't do anything else other than that. Okay. Well. Go, Incarnate, go! Poor Purge Gareth. Took a hit for no reason. Apparently everyone's just gathering up here. This is the place to be, apparently, or I guess. Alright. Let's get everyone else up here that needs to be up there. There's just fire everywhere, though. We're gonna be sending in fire no matter what. I guess we're gonna go there-ish. Oh, we're at the Kraken. This is gonna suck. Did our Incarnate die? Ow. Would you stop hitting me? He's gone. Luckily we have fly. We can probably get at least close to him. Gareth is just getting destroyed. I have no idea what Linder Chem is gonna do. Probably kill Gareth. Looks like, oh no, Gareth is dead. Took down all of Dallas's armor in one hit. Up here we go. Hi. Pleasure. What is it with you and the plague? Oh, we're getting like a lot of negatives from all that plaguing. I wonder if we can die from just not having enough con and getting plagued to death. I need that one, and I need... I guess this one.
I'll yield to none.
I'm gonna pause for 1 sec while Dallas does her thing. This is apparently the video of phone calls and interruptions. Alright, let's try and finish this fight. So, nothing happened between the little cut there. So Dallas used a couple spells. Isbiel also did some spells. Los is hurt pretty badly, but is more or less okay at the moment. She needs to get over here, but she can't. She can probably do it from there, but she's taken a lot of damage. I guess we gotta do it though. We need to get over here. Why is there nowhere to go to? There we go. Okay, she's at about half health, so that's, I guess, gonna be okay for now. How many enemies can she hit with this? Just 2. Just Isbiel, actually maybe not even 2. I don't know if Isbiel's even in range technically. Let's take a look at our other skills though. We have Onslaught, which we haven't used yet. Let's give it a shot. And that will actually end the fight. Breckus Rex is your only and primary target during the fight.
Lies dead once more, perhaps even for good. Dallis, badly weakened, looks to you.
The future of all that is depends on you, and you alone.
Well then, this is, as they say, it.
I like how Lucian doesn't care.
I never dreamed that after all this, I would be standing here with one of your kind, let alone that I would be proud to do so. I cannot imagine someone I would trust more with divinity, including myself.
I humbly bow my head. I will do my best.
Thane lays a bony hand on your shoulder, squeezing gently.
Do you know, I believe you will.
You think back on your journey here, on all that you have seen and done. You think of the Magisters, and the sorcerers they hunted, and of the good and the evil on both sides. You think of how the Eternals came as Voidwoken to reclaim their stolen world. You look at the source around you. The power is immense. Divinity at your fingertips. You think of what you could do with such power. The rights you'd wrong, the wars you'd win. You marvel at your journey and how it has changed you. You think of those you left behind, and of those you met along the way, who stood by you or against you. It's time to choose your fate, and the fate of all you hold dear. What shall it be? Shall you be divine?
I take a deep breath, then claim divinity.
After all that you have been through, and all that you have done, all that you have become, the Aetheran lies in front of you. Divinity is yours to take, or to sacrifice. What you do next decides your own fate, and the future of the world. What shall you do with divinity?
I allow myself and all the world to be purged of its source. This is an ending I actually haven't done before, so I'm kind of curious to see how it goes.
And so it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwoken. well as the hammer, the secret eternal, purged the Godwoken and used the source to close the veil to the void. The world was saved. Statues in memory of the Godwoken who sacrificed their source were erected all across Rivellon. They would never be forgotten. The half-demon Malady took pity on the soulless, God-woken silent monks and brought them to the Hall of Echoes. There, from the scraps of their souls that remained, she restored them to life. Sorcerers no more, they lived out the rest of their lives, freed of the burden of being the God-woken, freed from the weight of the world. As for me, the God-woken sacrifice severed the link that bound the Sworn to the God King, and I was finally free. To atone for my sins, I spent the rest of my days taking care of the sick and elderly, telling the story of the God-woken, that the world may never forget the greatest heroes Rivellon had ever seen.
Alright, we're on a boat. No divinity. We still have +1 to all stats. And 11,000 health.
Malady stands tall and proud, sunlight sparkling off her mask. From here she looks almost angelic.
Ah, there you are. More than a silent monstrosity, less than a god. In the end, I'm not totally convinced it was worth my while to restore your consciousness, seeing what you've done with it so far. Where did I go wrong?
I tell her she might find a good ally in Lucian. Isn't that worth something?
Oof, no thank you. I was interested in being owed a favor by a shiny new god, not some emperor of the realm. Never mind. I'll find another way. I always do.
She fingers the mask covering her face. For a moment, it seems as though she's about to remove it. But instead, she places a hand on your shoulder.
We've come a long way together. I did my best by you all the way. Sacrificed much. And I'd have given even more to see you fulfill your destiny.
She looks you up and down.
I guess this will have to do. Take a moment, why don't you? Relax. Enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same.
Where do you plan to go?
Oh, I don't know. Around and about. Treat myself to some mead, a lover or 300. I'd say we've earned it. Perhaps our paths will cross again. Perhaps not, until we find out.
We can talk to the spirit of the Red Prince. He's technically here.
Well, look what the cat dragged in. A silent monk. At least that's what you would be if it weren't for Malady. To be fair, you are barely more powerful than one, now that the source has been ripped from you. And even more ripped from me.
Jahan's here.
You confronted your demons, in turn to confront divinity itself. A rather poetic arc, don't you think? Not that your story is finished, of course. Draining source from the wind and waters may have felt charitable. But I promise that gratitude will rarely be showered upon you.
What might you get up to next?
Now that I am clear of mind and free of intruders, I'm wondering if it isn't time to share my learnings with the less enlightened. And to that end, I have a few ideas worth considering. Once I've come to a conclusion, I promise you'll be the first to know.
Where do you stand on the issue? Are you grateful of my choice?
Not grateful, just tolerant. Source made for an excellent ally in matters of a demonic nature. The Voidwoken may no longer seep through the veil, but the beasts of Nemesis remain another matter. But I've no doubt you'll be seeing to that soon enough.
I wish him well, and I'm on my way. More ghosts. Beast Spirit is up here. Sir Laura is here, although I didn't see him cast any spells.
Beast Spirit doesn't acknowledge you as you approach. He only sings, slowly, achingly, sadly.
Here the wild beast just sails on the ocean. He's docked in the bay and coming your way. Off on the yawn, you hear the commotion. He's docked in the bay and coming your way. The cupboard can't hide you, nor can your berth. His daggers don't care about the gold that you're worth. He'll bury your bones neath a mountain of earth. He's docked in the bay and coming your way.
He pauses, then continues to hum, all the while working his ghostly whiskers.
Goodbye, beast. Tarkin? I didn't use anathema, I still have it. Pretty sure.
I always thought that those who resorted to self-sacrifice were lacking in imagination. But I must admit, that was rather noble of you.
What do you make of the new state of the world?
A world without source is one that will need individuals of wit and intellect. A sharp mind is the only magic now. I believe I shall enjoy this new world very much.
Take my leave. Hold up. There's still magic. I can prove it. Magic still definitely exists. You can't summon wood totems out of nothing.
Well, Quirkers. Look who finally graced us with their presence. I suppose some thanks are in order.
I shake my head. He doesn't have to thank you for anything.
What? No, you should be thanking me. I just saved the world from the great Acorn. You're welcome, by the way. Honestly, Quirkers, some creatures have no sense of perspective.
I stare at Sir Laura and repeat that I saved the world.
A huge grin slowly spreads across the squirrel's small face.
Of course, had you not stopped this God King and his lackeys, there would have been very little left for me to save. So...
The cat moves forward, twisting around your legs and filling the air with the sound of dry, dusty purring.
Ah, Quirkers! Please, have a little decorum.
I laugh and tell Sir Laura they've been through a lot. He should relax.
This battle is won, my friend, but we still have a war to fight. We've undone the Great Acorn, but the Knights of Dre are still out there. They summoned the Great Acorn once. They will be able to summon it again. We have to destroy their order, once and for all. That is the future Quirkers and I have ahead of us. We no longer need a shield, but we are very happy to have a friend.
I ruffle Sir Laura's fur, the big softy.
The squirrel tenses for half a moment before relaxing into your fingers.
Ah! Oh, my. Quirkers, you never told me it felt this good. Well, that was certainly an experience. Of course, this has all been something of an experience, eh?
It's all in a day's work for a hero like me.
But of course, what else should we expect from our glorious shield, Quirkers? I never thought I would be proud to have befriended a giant. But there is no one Ow! Quirkers! There is no one that we would rather have walked this world with. I do not know what comes next for you, but you will always have a friend in the forest. Come, Quirkers, we must... Oh, I think you have something in your eye, my friend.
The cat curls up and snuggles into his squirrel friend, who quietly sits and sniffs on the deck.
Tarkin.
I do believe your actions amount to the first truly selfless...
We already did Tarkin, right? Han.
Are you okay? You don't look okay.
I'm fine. I got spirit vision right now.
No more source, no more powers. Don't worry, darling. I know you have plenty of other qualities.
What's next for you?
Who knows? A nice cottage someplace quiet for Mahalia and I. A roaring fire and a feather bed. Maybe. Maybe. But a girl needs some fun, doesn't she?
I hope you've reformed your ways after winning back your freedom.
Reform my ways? How adorable. No, I'm afraid I cannot escape who I am and what I've done.
Her eyes flick down to your mouth. She smiles coyly, then slinks forward to kiss you.
I give in to her.
Her mouth meets yours and devours you with predatory abandon. Somewhere in the recesses of your mind, you think you hear her voice sigh, mine. but then the kiss ends.
Something to remember me by, darling.
Take my leave. Most importantly, Fane is up here.
Fane is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He leafs through it slowly, muttering to himself.
I see. Intriguing.
He glances up at you. Big, empty eye sockets taking in every detail.
With a grin, the skeleton throws his arms around you, squeezing you tight. He breaks off the embrace, grinning wildly.
Well, well. There you are, my darling. Just look at you. A little leaner than when we first met, and a little less divine than you'd hoped, I imagine.
I nodded wistfully. It would have been nice to be a god.
Indeed it would.
Fane looks back down to the book, a bony finger running across the embossed leather cover.
It could have been different, you know? I could have saved them. I could have found a way.
He may have lost his people, but at least he's found his daughter.
Yes. What a reunion that was. I doubt she will ever forgive me for what I did. Then again, perhaps she will understand someday. Doing terrible things for good reasons seems to be a family trait. So, what do you think you'll do, now that we live in a Source-free world?
I'm going to carry on the adventure, of course. I'm pretty good at this.
Of that, there can be no doubt. I'm sure the bards will sing of your heroics for generations.
I wonder if he'd like to see a little more of the world. Actually, I'll ask Fane if he could be more interested in a little more adventure.
The skeleton hefts Hubert's dog-eared encyclopedia, its weight heavy in his hands.
I've been rereading this book, looking over your history once again, poring over every detail with a new perspective, and do you know what? It's shit.
Fane tosses the book over his shoulder. It flutters in the air as it sails over the ship's railing and disappears with a faint splash.
If you have spent your life staring at a thing, you can write about it with knowledge. You can write about it with love. But it is almost impossible to write about it with wonder. You creatures have spent your lives trudging about this world, and you've grown blind to its miracles.
I suppose he's right.
Take otters, for example. Energetic, waterproof cats, utterly beautiful creatures. Or octopuses. Did you know they're secretly octopuses? Octopi? Octopods? Oh, I shall have to look that up. Regardless, the world is filled with absolutely incredible sights. And who better to catalogue them with the awe they deserve than someone seeing them for the first time?
Can't imagine anyone better for the job.
Do you know, there is the idea that nothing is ever truly created or destroyed. I suppose we are all Source, just in different forms. You being the cruder, less jewel-encrusted form, naturally. But my people were Source too, although we didn't know it at the time. And our Source helped create you. In a way, I was walking alongside the best version of them the entire time.
Aww.
In you, I found a home better than the one I was pining for. Thank you, my love.
Did you just reclaim your book from the ocean? It just reappeared in your hand. Anyways, boat.
It gives me almost as much pleasure to speak to you as it does to be whole again.
I remarked that it's good to see her. The Lady Vengeance has been a dependable ally.
I will always be an ally to those that carry Source, to those whose blood is of the heroes of old. And so, as always, I am at the ready.
I nod silently. It's time to depart.
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And yet, something is different. You are different. And with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command to the Lady Vengeance, and another chapter begins. At last, the world was at peace. The ancient Lizard Empire opened its gates. The houses disbanded, and the Empire adopted a pluralist quasi-democracy. Anyone could vote for whoever they pleased, as long as the House of Shadows approved. With their queen dead and the Voidwoken gone, the dwarves held the greatest party in the history of dwarfdom. A new king took the throne, the local brewer. 6 days later, he was stabbed to death with a mutton fork. Lucian made amends to the elves. He gave them lands and vast riches from the coffers of the old divine order. But the elves never forgave him. They would not trust humans again. And in a dark forest on the far side of a desert, well beyond the high seas, the Black Ring came together once more. The island of Fort Joy, the old redoubt of the Source King Brachus Rex, was turned over to the people of Driftwood to use as they wished. They turned it into a holiday resort. Reaper's Coast prospered. The fisheries returned, and the fertile farmlands produced the greatest harvests the surviving farmers had ever seen. Blood Moon Island became particularly fecund, its soil producing the greatest crops. A particularly crimson-fleshed orange grown on the island became a delicacy across half the world.
I don't know if I'd want sludge oranges.
The black pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood became a centre of industry, trade and transport. Lohar the dwarf became mayor. His time in office was cut short by an unfortunate wound that spontaneously appeared on his neck. Your lizard lover finally returned to the ancient lizard empire, there to found the newest and most popular of all the houses, the House of Love.
Aww.
Lagan left his over-demanding wife and began a relationship with a local bard.
Good job, Lagan.
In the spirit of loving generosity, he returned the ring to his now ex-wife. In a fit of rage, she threw it into the sea.
Oh no. Not again.
You would never forget Dorothea's kiss. Dorothea herself left Driftwood for the ancient empire, ever in search of the perfect kiss. She never found it, although once or twice she came close. The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Young Han went into the theatre and became one of the realm's most popular actors. Almira and Mihaili settled down on the farm. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. She presumed she had them in thrall. The truth was, they just liked her. With no new divine, Malady found herself in a predicament. She had an important problem to solve, but no ally strong enough to call upon, and so her search continued.
I mean, I'm still level 20, even without source powers.
Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again. With Amadia silent, the priestess Gratiana left the swamps and re-entered the world. She founded an abbey in the Dragonspine Mountains, offering the last of the undead shelter from fortune hunters, novelty seekers, and ghouls. Jehan the demon hunter found himself at a loose end, so he opened a museum of demonic artifacts. He made a fortune. With Lucian in power, Sahala took the elves away from the world. They grew strong once more amidst the trees of the regrown home forest. Some say her plans for revenge will bring about the end of days. Some say only Tova, her mother, holds her back. Lucian returned as divine, united the races, and became Lord Emperor of all Rivellon. Only Dallis knew that he was entirely powerless. Dallis and you. The Eternal, now known as Dallis, was a secret advisor to Lucian and to his successors. For eons she would walk in the world, and would outlive the peoples and all, and wander alone amongst the dying stars.
She lives until the end of the universe? Damn.
His run-in with his daughter set Fane on a new path. He travelled Rivellon, recording the wonders he discovered, but always kept a socket peeled for signs of the Eternal.
Why could have armor look like that? That looks amazing.
To find the wife he'd lost, but he never did.
Like, that's super cool.
He's still looking.
That's probably the best image of Fane.
And then there was you. You returned to the world as one more human among many. Your future was yours to decide. Did you accept your new status with humility, or did you rebel?
I became a man, apparently.
Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.
And that is it. We are 100% done again. This is the second time we've beaten the game on this channel, and I think it's probably the last time we'll do this game on the channel. So, this is where I'm going to leave you. Like I ask at the end of every series, if you enjoyed the content, please subscribe. Otherwise, we'll be beginning a new series starting tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be yet. Stay tuned. I'm going to pick a game tonight, I guess, because if I'm starting it tomorrow, I might as well have one in mind. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, leave them below. This is still, even after beating it for, actually I think this is the 6th time I've beaten it now, and I'm playing through it the 7th time with other friends, still one of the best role-playing games I've ever played. Still one of the most immersive. Like, their choices actually do make quite a bit of difference in the end of the story. It's really, really good. If you haven't played it and you've just been watching the playthrough, don't take everything in this particular playthrough as the way that the story will end up. If you make different choices throughout your journeys in this world, your ending will be wildly different. So, Larian Studios did a very good job of that. Anyways, this is where I leave you guys. Take care, have yourselves a wonderful night, and I will see you all tomorrow. I have a small epilogue for you guys as well, actually, and I could think of no better place than this specific area with Fane and all of our honored guests here.
The lute is absolutely familiar in your hands, as though it weren't an instrument of wood and sinew, but of your own flesh and soul.
Dark, come to me, the night is long. Sing for me, I'll sing along. Sing for me, oh sing for me. Sway with me, we'll make them scream. Dance with me, we'll make them bleed. Sing for me, I'll sing along. Sing for me, oh sing for me. Listen, do you hear it? Listen, do you feel it? Listen, you do know me. Listen, swing
See you guys later.